Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Talking About Rock, sponsored by School of Rock, North Buffalo. If you're looking for an experienced gift, give the gift of music. School of Rock, North Buffalo can find the right program for your musical artist. Last weekend, Stephen J. Desco and the Land of Oz invited me out to their triumphant return at the Riviera Theater in Tonawanda, New York. The band blazed through the Ozzy Osbourne classics from Diary of a Madman and the Blizzard of Oz era, as well as some of my favorite tracks of mine as Perry Mason, Mr. Tinker Train, Miracle Man. Was an amazing show. The mighty Riviera Wurlitzer rose to the occasion for the beginning of Mr. Crowley as well. We had interviewed them on Talk About Rock last year, and they always put on a great performance. The crowd at the Riviera Theater roared with approval during the two-set show and rose to their feet for the encore of Paranoid. The band consists of father and son guitar team Matt and Mike Stanley, Mike Vival on keyboards, Kevin Mercer on bass, Tom Stewart on drums, and Stephen Desco on lead vocals. And it's very, very special thanks to Stephen Desco and Christy Thompson for inviting Talking About Rock, the show, and hanging out backstage at the event. Today's guest is a Buffalo Music Hall of Fame recent inductee. His career has covered everything from rock to blues, country, and original music. He also started a benefit program, WNY New York Drummers for the Homeless, which he gives to 4 local shelters. He has also been a multi-award recipient from Buffalo's Nightlife magazine. Sadly, the owner of Nightlife, Edward Honeck, passed away. He was such a great supporter of local music, clubs, and the entire Buffalo music scene. We will talk to Will about this and how he is relaunching this local award program that honored local artists. Next on Talking About Rock. Okay, let's welcome to the show Buffalo Music Hall of Fame member Will Schulmeister. How's it going, Will?
Hey, doing really good. Yeah, can't complain at all.
That's awesome, man. Well, you've had quite the career in music here. When did you start playing the clubs in the area? Way back in the day.
Oh my God! Actually, playing drums in 1967.
Back in the day out in Buffalo here.
Back at I was still underage, but we had a lot of places to play. I mean, we played high school dances, we played coffee houses, we played parties, we played churches.
Right. Anywhere you could.
Every week.
Right. When you started getting into the clubs, what was the club scene like then? It had to be so different, right?
Oh, it was a lot different. We played. You could play 6 nights a week, and it was packed every night too. It was amazing. I mean, I could remember, and back then you might have got a job for the whole week, or you might have had a job at the same place Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and you just left your stuff there. So what you would do is you go play, you go to work, and then you go back and play again. Then you go back to work, you go play again.
Right.
It was, and we did it. I mean, it was great. It's not like that now, unfortunately, but
right. Well, things were a lot different then, right? The economy was different and just life was different in general. Yeah. And original music was more accepted way back in the day.
It was
not today.
It was, and actually rock back then was like in its infancy. It was just coming out, and it was like growing like crazy. And actually we made a lot of money back then. I mean, the money we made then is compared to now is like unbelievable, because we're making about the same now as we did then. So you can imagine the difference. $100 a show in 1967 is a lot different than $100 a show is today. Just for an example, in your average, nightclub band.
Definitely.
I mean, and you played for each person. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've played lots of different styles of music. You played rock, you played blues, you played some country and originals. You've kind of run the gambit here a little bit with a little of everything.
Yeah. I even did some wedding stuff, which was fun too. You get thrown into everything, it is fun. Hey, but that makes you versatile and you learn a lot too.
Right, right. All those different styles and different things. And you
Sure.
came up with some custom things of your own. You created some custom sticks that you were going to start
Yeah.
manufacturing and selling. Tell us a little bit about that quick, if you could.
Well,
That was very cool.
yeah, there was a drumstick I had. It was called Extra Stick. It was a weighted drumstick to work out with. It worked along the lines like the baseball bat when you're in high school, college, even the pros use it. You know, in the batter's box, you're warming up with
With the weight on there, right?
the
Yeah.
lead. You got a leaded weight on it, or some of the bats were filled with lead, and you know you're swinging it, and it just builds you up. And then when you get out there, it feels like feathers that you're playing.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like changing your strings, playing like real heavy strings and then going to light strings or something
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah. And we we did that, and it worked out really good. We filled we had these big like marching sticks, like 3S they call it, and we drilled them out and filled them with weights, and guys used to work out with them and then go play.
Very
Yeah,
cool. Very cool. And
worked out
do
really
they
good.
have stuff like that today? I know you never really got your product out there, but do they have
Yeah.
stuff out there like that now?
Yeah, our product lasted about 10 years. Finances put the kibosh on that, but yes, they do. They have like different they don't have the weights in them, but they're heavier sticks. And they do call them, it's the same idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then they have another combination where they have aluminum sticks where are really light, where you work out with regular sticks, and then the aluminum, and it's almost like an opposite effect. But yeah, they definitely have different weighted sticks out there to practice with.
Yeah, I never realized all that stuff, not being a drummer myself, but obviously just watching drummers and then seeing after they're playing their sticks are like ripped up. I have a couple of drumsticks from different drummers and just seeing how they would beat the heck out of that, and sometimes how often they would go through heads, things like that.
Oh yeah.
So just
Yeah, and
amazing.
it is, yeah. But drumsticks are a very delicate thing, and something every drummer goes through, trying to find the right ones to use.
Right, just the right style. And sometimes they flip them and
Yes,
use the heavy side to get a heavier sound, right?
that's right. Yes, they do. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. And not only that, but you also taught lessons too. You were also teaching also.
Yeah, I taught for 13 years at 4 different music stores, actually 5. AAA Music in Tonawanda, Match Music in North Tonawanda, both Music Marts when they were open, and Carlone Music Store on Allen Street in Buffalo. Plus, I had a few at home too.
Very cool. Yeah, there's not a lot of the music stores around. There's new places popping up all the time. Obviously, like our sponsor, School of Rock, but
Right.
there's not as much as there was back in the day, and not as much of in schools anymore as it was either. There's always,
Exactly.
it was always be part of your day. I remember, like in school, you would sign up for lessons and you would pick out what you were going to play, and it was always a thing for school.
Yeah, exactly. And the kids used to bring me what they had in school, what they were supposed to work on, and I'd work on it with them, at our lesson too. So
Excellent.
yeah,
Very cool.
yeah,
Very
it was
cool.
it was a big thing then, and now they're pretty much on their own unless they have a teacher to give them a hand.
Right, right, right. Or they can check out School of Rock on this area and stuff, and coming to other
Absolutely.
areas also. But we also want to talk to you about all the other projects you got going on. Not all the music you play, being inducted into the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame, playing all these kind of different genres of music, coming out with custom sticks of your own, then also starting Western New York Drummers for the Homeless, an awesome
Yes.
charity. We talked a little bit about it before, but let's revisit that and talk about that so everyone's more aware.
Okay, what that is it's a organization about it's musicians giving back to the community for everything the community does for us. I mean, they come out to see us, they support us, they pay their money to see us, they buy our CD, they buy our t-shirts. Well, why not give back to them at some point? And this is what we've chosen to do, and a lot of musicians have jumped on board, and they do help us out. But by doing free concerts, and we raise money for that.
And you raise money for like four different shelters, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we got St. Luke's of Buffalo, Lighthouse Women and Children's House in Niagara Falls, Lockport Cares in Lockport, and Tonawanda Outreach Center in and which covers the North Towns, Tonawanda, North Tonawanda, in that area.
That's so great.
As we expand, we'll add more.
Yeah, that's so great. It's so needed. And how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing that since 2018 we started. So that's about 4 years now.
And can you give us like a rough estimate of maybe how much you've raised so far, or ballpark, maybe something like that?
As of a little while ago, we've given over $25,000 to the homeless shelters, plus all kinds of goods that we collected, diapers, socks, underwear, adult diapers, whatever people give us, we'll deliver it. It's got to be new stuff. The shelters will not take used stuff, especially since COVID.
Right. And do you just take the donations at the shows or anytime, or how does that work? Is there a site they can go to?
They can go on our Facebook page, Western New York Drummers for Homeless People, and donate right there. They could go on drumforthehomeless.com and donate right there. They can send it in 635 Niagara Parkway, North Tonawanda, New York, 14120. They can mail a check, or they can give me a call. I'll come and get it. And
he'll come and pick it up from you folks. Exactly. Yeah. Whatever you got. It's got to be new stuff. But definitely
we do have collection boxes in different restaurants, bars, and stores in that.
All right, cool.
Whatever
very
we
cool.
got to do.
Excellent. You guys are doing a tremendous job with that. That's so amazing. I really love that. And we want to talk about your new venture that you're getting into now.
Can I just touch on one more thing?
Oh, sure. Go right ahead.
And in the past 2 years, I got to tell you this. We have a scholarship.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For and it's at Cardinal O'Hara High School, and what it is, it's a $500 scholarship for the child that wins, and it's a musician or a person in the arts, like acting or musicals, and they have to, of course, have great grades, and community service is a big thing. So if they're really into community service and that type of thing, they're in the running for this scholarship. And the idea behind that is to keep this going. I'm not going to be here forever, but we want to keep this going long after, 100 years from now.
Right, long
time. Make sure there's another group coming, along all the time.
So how do people go about that? Do they submit someone on the website?
What they do, it's Cardinal O'Hara High School right now, so they can go right if they belong to that school. Yeah, they get it right from their guidance
counselor. So you're just dealing with that school at this moment
right now, yes, and we hope to expand on that too.
Yeah, that sounds like a great program. I love that. That's excellent. Very, very cool. You got a lot of cool stuff going on. You're a busy guy, and we run into each other every once in a while.
Yes, we do.
We're both busy guys, though, which is.
I got to get out there and see who's out there.
Right. I know we should go and check out some more shows. I'll tell you. I'll keep you in the loop when I'm going if you want to go.
Sure.
But I try to make a lot of shows myself. So
yeah.
But with all the musicians and all the shows going on and everything, there was a majorly very cool thing that used to happen in the day, the Buffalo Nightlife Music Awards.
Yes.
Such a great thing, Ed, honoring these different bands, these different venues. You are the recipient of quite a few of these yourself also.
Yeah, I did win 4 of them in my day, yes. 2 for country and 2 for rock, plus I've also been a part of 2 where the band has won 2.
Yeah, and that was such a staple magazine back in the day. I remember when I would go to any club, I would always pick that up because I would want to know who's playing where, what's going on.
Exactly.
They always had the great info on all that. This is before internet was big and things like that. You didn't have Facebook, or you picked up Nightlife magazine in Buffalo and you checked out what was going on.
Yeah, if you want to know where to go, you pick that up and it's there. Ed Honeck did a very great service for all of us. He sure did, by doing that weekly. And I mean, even like when it came to like September time, when all the kids used to come in town to, they moved into their dorms at UB, if they're from out of town, University of Buffalo, Canisius, they didn't know where to go. And he put out a special edition telling where every place had, karaoke, open mics, bands, anything you wanted to do. So he thought of all the angles. Yeah, he did a great job of promoting, live music and all the clubs, which is a big thing.
Right. The clubs were getting awards too. I saw some of these clubs.
Absolutely. Yes, they were. Yeah.
And there was a lot more back then than there are now.
There sure is.
There's a lot of places to play, lots of things going on. And like you were saying originally, sometimes these folks were playing 5-6 nights a week or something at the different
Yeah.
clubs.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. But anyway, in 2019, because of COVID, he stopped, he stopped. And because let's face it, nobody was open. We couldn't sell anything. We couldn't, but God bless him. Everybody was doing online stuff. He posted online who's going to be online. He'll put videos up on it. So he kept it going.
He was still on top of it however he could.
Still was, yeah.
But unfortunately, we lost him and he passed.
Yeah, we lost him this year in May, yes. But in 2019 was the last year of the awards. And
that was at the Cove, right?
That was at the Cove, yeah. Yeah. He had a different places, different years, but the last quite a few years he did have it at the Cove because he needed a big space.
And that's the Cove Banquet Hall on Transit Road.
Right, in Depew, yes.
In Depew, yep.
And so anyway, Ed was a real good friend of mine. And we were very close, actually, the past 5 years, spent a lot of time together, talked every day. But I wanted to carry on. I can't do the magazine, that's just not my thing. And I don't have the time for it anymore.
Right.
But I wanted to keep the awards going if the family gave me their blessing. And they did. They gave me their blessing. So we're moving on.
So we're going to move forward, and this is going to be an honoring thing, right? So it'll be the Edward Honeck Nightlife Music Awards, right?
Be the Edward Honeck Nightlife Music Awards, yes.
And it'll be monthly, I think you were saying. Is that how we're going to work it, or
it's going to be once a year?
Once a year, so it's going to be a big event.
It's going to be one big event a year, and it's going to be through the year. I got a crew. You won't know who they are.
They're keeping the low profile.
Yeah, but they're going to be out looking at bands for nominations, everywhere. We're going to be out all summer, all spring, so you never know who's going to be watching you.
And it'll be just the Western New York, Buffalo area.
Right. And myself, just so everybody's clear on this, myself, my wife, or anybody in Western New York Drummers for Homeless People on the board will not have anything to do with the voting, the selection, or the nominations. We're overseeing everything. We're running it. That's it. And but we will have people out there looking for who to nominate, who's in what band. We don't want any mistakes. Like in the past, sometimes people were announced they were in this one band, but they weren't in that band, for 5-10 years or something.
Right.
So we want to keep our, records up to date and make sure we got the right people in the right band and the right instruments too.
Right. So did you get like a group of just folks together, or musicians, or a mixed match of business, musicians, and other folks to maybe like be on this board to vote?
The people I have, you mean, for the
yeah.
Right now, there are people in the business, yeah, but not necessarily all musicians, but some are.
Right.
Some are musicians. So yeah, it's a little bit of everything, and hopefully it's a good plan and it'll work out, and we'll see what happens. We're doing things a little bit different, not too much. We're still going to have the public voting on this too.
Okay, great.
Thing. So we'll let them know who's going to be nominated, and they'll be voting. It won't be the whole vote, but it'll be part of the vote. We hope.
And will be a year to vote, that type of thing, or a month, or
no? We'll come out with it in probably late summer, early fall with the list, and then we'll have like a few weeks where everybody can vote online. But that's going to be part of the vote. We're still in our infancy. We're going to be working next year to get the whole system, set. So everything right now is kind of up in the air, but
Right,
we got an idea what we're going to do.
right. And then you're going to have the big event at the Cove again for this, right?
November 9th,
November
2023.
November
At the
9th,
Cove,
2023
7
at the
p.m.
Cove Transit Road, Depew, New York.
Yeah,
The first Edward Honeck Nightlife Music Awards.
exactly. Exactly. And at 7 p.m. we'll have bands playing, of course, to be announced.
Right.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah.
we hope you'll keep us in the loop on a little bit on some of that stuff so we can let
absolutely.
people know
Oh,
as it gets
yeah.
closer,
Yeah, well, after the first of the year, we'll have all kinds of different types of announcements, like what we just talked about, and the procedure and everything, and what to look for, and that type of thing. We're going to have some different categories.
I was going to ask you about that. I'm sure you're going to have some of the same ones though, right? You'll have like, best new band or best new artist, or you'll have some of the basic ones, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, the basic ones, rock, country. We're going to have an ethnic one, hopefully this year, to include the polkas and, the Celtic bands, that type of thing. I want to do a hip hop. I want to have a hip hop category. Never had that before.
Right.
So, something a little bit, maybe not, we're going to cut down on a few things, but nothing major.
Right. More of a reflection on what's going on in music in the area now is what I'm hearing.
Exactly. Yeah. So we got our pulse on what's going on.
Right.
So,
country's gotten bigger in the area over the years too.
Yeah. Tribute bands obviously are a big thing today too.
Is I assume that's going to be like almost like a separate category if you're thinking about that or not?
Yeah, that would be a separate category. And we're thinking also there, if you go out and see a lot of bands, every time you go see a band, or a particular band, there's different guys playing it all the time. Is that a jam band, or it's not really a band if there's different people in it all the time?
Right, right. They do stuff like that a lot in Nashville at different shows they have there. They have people cycle in and out because they're busy in lots of projects and stuff.
Exactly.
Like that.
Yeah. So it might be, it might be like a jam band category to include that too. So, it's different. We're in a learning process, so bear with us this first year.
Well, that's so great. When you were starting to tell me about this, that you were going to relaunch this program, I was so happy to hear that, because I thought, oh my gosh, is this over? Is this ending? Is it like an end of an era celebrating the local music band, in Buffalo? And it's cool because that makes them a little bit of competition is a good thing. Yeah. Right. It's a very good thing.
Oh, the musicians, they love it. They love it and they want it. And, it gives them something to work for too. Everybody wants that mark where, the best rock band this year,
right.
Or the best guitar player this year. Everybody wants that. And it's something to strive for. And it really is very rewarding. And even to be nominated too.
Right.
You're nominated, it is a big deal.
Yeah. I think it's so hard to be a local artist, and you put in a lot of time, a lot of practice time with this music. A lot of these guys are still obviously all working their day jobs and but it's really nice, like you said, to be recognized for this work you're doing, this hard work and all this time you put in. And I hope to see more original bands come back at some point. I hope to see people get more open to that.
I love original bands.
It's a very, very hard sell nowadays with that type of stuff. With the explosion of tribute bands, and I attribute that to the high ticket prices of the major acts. That's what I attribute all that to myself.
You're right. Well, they definitely created a niche for themselves, so that's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They got tribute shows. They got on TV, all kinds of different things going on with that. A lot of great acts are coming through. Yeah, because the ticket prices, you're gonna pay $1,000 just to walk in the door to see a name star or something like that. People can't do that.
I know.
It's crazy. So yeah, I really like the tribute thing. I know it's kind of button heads up against the original music thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll tell you that when I mean, I was lucky enough to see Led Zeppelin and
Oh,
you know,
that's
the
my
Who,
dream
yeah,
band.
and the Who and all those bands. And but people that are like 30, 40 years old, they'll never see them.
Yeah, yeah.
For them to experience, you know, the what it must have been like is just got to be great for them.
Yeah, yeah. That was you bring that up, and that was my dream band back in the day. When I was like 16, I had this giant frame picture Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
like the band I'm never gonna see because he was gone, and all my ticket stubs all the way around the picture. I'm like, this is the band that I've never got a chance to see. But I've seen all these guys, but
Yeah.
yeah, they were like the holy grail for me to see them. And I've talked to quite a few people that got to see,
Oh my goodness.
Hendrix, that got to see Zeppelin, that got to see the Doors, and all these guys that were forming what was going to become, hard rock music or metal music or things like that. And it's just to make, when Jimi Hendrix came to Buffalo, that was the catalyst for Billy Sheehan. He saw Jimi Hendrix and he was like amazed. He was blown away,
Oh,
so
sure.
these guys were creating the next generation and they didn't even know it yet,
I know it.
You're
not
but
kidding.
just amazing stuff with all that. I mean, and I'm so glad, the history we have in Buffalo with all the music going on here is great. I don't think it gets enough attention. That's
right.
why one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast, to kind of call that out and let people know, they have all these, ideas about Buffalo. We just have 100 feet of snow, and our football team struggles, and we all eat chicken wings all day. That's all we do here.
Boy, I'll tell you, I put us right up there with like Seattle and a lot of other places. We're like the best kept secret in the Northeast. We are. There's such talent here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you can go out and see it every weekend.
Yeah. There's so many things going on, and I hope we get some more clubs and some more venues, because I know there's a lot of tough fighting about that, trying to get bookings at different places, and it's really hard.
It is tough
because there's not a lot going on like there were so many different clubs back in the 70s and early 80s,
And if we can't, we'll think outside the box and we'll come up with something.
Right. There's always outdoor shows and festivals we can do in the summer and different things.
When I was 6 years old, we played at people's houses.
Right. I mean, the backyard parties were the thing, right?
Well, they did that, and they had parlor parties.
Okay.
And you played for the adults. They came in and you played for them, and you actually made money. And but we'll do whatever we have to do to play and get recognized and to hone our talents.
Yeah. I think the live music experience is so important.
It is.
And we I think as a music community, we realized that in the early 70s, when you saw all these groundbreaking albums come out that showcased that, when you saw the Kiss Alive album come out, when you saw the Peter Frampton Comes Alive album come out, and it showed these people what the live experience was about.
Yes. Yeah.
And that just made it all stand out. And I think people are starting to realize it again a little bit now. You know what I mean? Because they kind of got a little too used to sitting behind their screens or watching videos or watching their phone. But seeing live music is a different experience.
Yes, the showmanship really puts a exclamation point with the music.
Definitely.
Sure does, yeah.
Definitely, yeah. And I'm always talking to that about all the different bands I see, what's in their show, what are they doing, what are they working on, different things. Yeah, that always, it's an experience. It's not just, you're not going to just hear music. It's an experience to go see live music. And that's what people need to understand and check out. But
exactly, yeah.
But that's so great. I love what you're doing, man. This is so cool with, bringing the Nightlife Music Awards back, all the stuff you're doing with WNY Drummers for the Homeless. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame induction for Buffalo Music Hall of Fame. And you're not just inducted, you're on the board there too, right?
Yes, I'm on I am on the board of trustees too. Yeah.
Excellent. So Will's at your show, guys. You better turn it up a notch out there, right?
If I'm there, I'm there to see your show. Like I said, I'm not there to judge you, but we do have a crew out there that will be out there to check you out and get the nominations going and see what's going on.
Very
But
good.
I love going out and I love seeing all the bands when I'm not playing and talk to everybody and you'll see a lot of old friends, a lot of new friends, and it's great. I just love it. And yeah, we got to keep the nightlife alive.
Yep, we're definitely going to do that. And I'm so glad you guys are putting that back in gear for sure. And I'm going to see you at more shows coming up. I know we'll definitely be running into each other a lot. So
Absolutely.
but thank you so much, man, for taking the time and chatting with us today. Really appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy. You got all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
But very cool stuff. People check out all this and get ready for Buffalo for the new Ed Honeck Nightlife Music Awards. Check out Western New York Drummers for the Homeless. A great organization.
And thank you, Robert. We'll be out there seeing you and everybody else. And hey, you keep up the good work too.
Oh, we're trying to keep the torch alive here. We appreciate that, Will.
Yeah.
And if you folks out there have comments or questions, feel free to email us at talkingboutrock@gmail.com. You can like us and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And for this video, it'll be dropping to YouTube, but you can also catch the audio on all the streaming services very soon. Well, again, man, thanks so much, man. We will definitely see you out there soon.
My pleasure. Good talking to you, Rob.